Greetings. The title of this video, Time Can Tell a Lot. I'm just going to go over some posts that I found on the web when I googled time will tell a lot, and then I shall myself give my own thoughts about it from experience and observation. Just a quick look. A beautiful face will age and a beautiful body will change, but a beautiful soul will always be a beautiful soul. True. Because the other two things are temporary, but the last thing is internal, which is your soul. This is an interesting one. If someone wants to be in your life, they will make an effort. If they really want to see you, they will make time. If they tell you that you're special, they will be consistent with their actions. You can tell a lot about how a person values you by the way they treat you. That's a very interesting post. My advice is for anybody, this is something I've learned myself, is time can tell a lot. And what do I mean by that? Everything you are given in this life, you're given, God gives it to you. Your time, energy, resources is given unto you, and how you choose to use that tells a lot. And time really tells a lot about a person's priorities and does a lot about themselves, and tells them what they value. If a person spends the majority of their time watching TV, that gives an observation, a very simple observation that they like watching TV, but also proves that because everything, time has consequence. So say if you're someone that wants to be successful in life, first of all you must understand what your goals is, and then you must understand what you need, because every human planet is dealt with like cards. When by card, this means what you have, your skills, your abilities, and what you have. And time is a good indication of a reflection of yourself. So if you spend much of your time in the presence of people that bring you down, the common denominator of that is you, because you're choosing to use your set time to be around people that bring you down. The company you keep is indication of reflection of yourself, and same as the same as time. So if you spend majority of your time on the phone, say if you spend more than 5%, 10%, 15% of your time on your phone, that's an indication that either you have a phone addiction, or you don't know how to live in the moment that's given to you. So you have many people, and I don't have this, thank God. I don't get bored. I often, when someone comes up to me and tell me they're bored, and truth, I'm always doing something. So if someone asks me what I was doing, I sometimes imply nothing. That's actually inaccurate. In truth, I'm breathing. So I'm always doing something. So in the context of doing nothing, I'm doing nothing as of a priority. So if anyone comes up to me and asks me if I'm doing nothing, that means at this moment of time I'm not doing anything that's of high priority. I try to fit in each hour of my day to be as creative as possible, whether it be walking, and it's to manage time, which goes back to time management. So time can tell a lot about an individual. It can tell like what the person prioritizes, who they prioritize, and what they deem value of the time. Does the person deem watching TV more of a higher value than spending time with people? Does the person value spending time with people more valuable than watching TV? Does the person consider being creative more important than not being creative? So you have some people, they would spend a lot of time watching TV now, or the phone and things. Now, there is a reason people say watch TV and programs and things, and personally for myself, it's usually to unwind, which is okay. Everything, as I say, in moderation. So if you're someone who wants to be creative in life, you must kind of sit down and write down with a piece of paper how you use your time, and then you look at the piece of paper and say, okay, maybe I can cut down and phone usage by an hour a day and use that hour to allocate the hour do something else. So it's also, again, time has to do with time also can tell a lot, because it can, for me, it helps me a lot in seeing patterns. Then I can make calculations with behavior patterns, so that's how time can tell a lot. Say a person has consistent pattern of picking people in their life that are going to destroy them, you can then see that pattern. But it just always comes to yourself. As I remember before, it'll be me, myself, or anyone else. If you have a situation where a person is always in drama and things, the common denominator is themselves, because at the end of the day, each one of us, me included, we choose who we spend our time with, we choose what we eat, we choose what we wear, you choose where to go to, we choose what hobbies you like, you choose what activities you want to do, and you choose who you choose to be intimate and who you choose not to be intimate with. You choose who you form a connection with, you choose who you not form a connection with. So time is an indication of someone's values. It can also be a good indication of where that person would be in 5 years' time. I can simply have a conversation with someone for 3 hours, and I can spend time with someone just for one day. I can spend time with one day, and I see patterns simply emerging. After a week, I can presume that where they would be a year from now, with a high accuracy. Because you have people with two different mindsets. You have some with a growth mindset, you have some with a fixed mindset. Some with a fixed mindset is very easy to predict the patterns of where they would be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years down the line. Some with a growth mindset is much harder to predict where they're going to be in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years times, because they want to grow. So they are more likely, they're going to go out in an upward trajectory. But a person that has a fixed mindset, they're only going to either stay exactly where they are or go further down. So that's where time is a very good indication. If a person has consistent pattern of picking bad company, then there's a higher probability that they're going to set a pit that continue in that pattern. So time can tell a lot about that. We live in it's useful. Time can be very useful if you learn the skills to observe how to use time, and then you have things like time management, which I shall go into other videos. But yeah, time, as I mentioned before, tell a lot about a person, more than anything really, because when you meet someone for the first time, your first impressions can, people always say that first impressions can tell a lot. That's a little BS. Excuse my language. Because you have people wear masks, so your first impression of someone is only they could put on a mask of who they are. They could hide parts of themselves from you, so then you have a distorted view of who they are. Unless someone, but time. This is a great thing about time. The time review is a lot, because the more you're in someone's presence, the more of them you're going to see manifest. That consistency, if they're trying their best to force that consistency that goes against their own nature, eventually you'll see the cracks emerge. The mask will slip. And time is a great indication for that. So my advice, if you're ever trying to form bonds with people, to exercise caution. And use your eyes to observe, your ears to listen, because you're given 2 ears, so you should hear and observe twice as much as you speak. Yeah? You should listen what they're saying, and you have a brain, so whenever you listen, make sure you remember that and just boop in your brain. And then if they do something that contradicts of something they said, just remember and go wee wee wee, rewind back, and then so that'll help you from picking out if someone is not being genuine or not. It's something that's helped me a lot. But time is the greatest thing when it comes to telling things, because patterns, you can see patterns in time, but you must learn the skill to observe patterns, and also in yourself as well. Because if you have to self-reflect and you see your own patterns behavior over time, it'll make it easier for you then to observe other people. So everything starts with yourself. And it's very hard, and it can be very painful to self-reflect, because it is a very painful experience to kind of self-reflect on aspects of yourself that may not be pretty. We all have that. So, but it's very important because it'll help you, because unless you self-reflect within yourself, you're going to continue being the same certain patterns again, and then time will again repeat itself over and over and over again. So it's I think there's a quote my butcher there. It's kind of madness to do the same thing over and over again. That expecting a different result. So if you're doing something and each time you get a pie in your face and you keep on doing it, expecting you not get hit with a pie in the face, metaphorically, pie in the face, I mean, you make mistakes. Unless you learn from mistakes and keep on doing them, then you've won yourself to blame. And time is a good indication of where you're headed. There's certain circumstances that limit the time that you have. It's true that you have the time, but if you're in an environment, you're limited of how you use your time. Especially if I might do other videos about this, about independence and codependency, and go into broad detail about that. But if you're someone that's seeking connections with other people, I suggest for you to be very cautious of observing time, because the more you spend in someone's presence, the more about them is revealed to himself. So it's very important to observe time, and time can tell a lot about an individual and about yourself and about others. So it's very something important to take note of. And thanks for watching this video of time can tell a lot.